Joe, while we're waiting, could you give us your name again, please?
Joe Wooten, W-O-O-T-E-N.
Where are you based out of?
Millersville.
And we just Joe?
Wooten.
And Chief Ossie, O-S-S-I?
I-E.
S-S-I-E.
I-E. MAP, M-A-P-P.
We're waiting for a reason.
Just like 30. No more than
About a minute? No, we're not ready. Are we going to be starting within the 30 seconds?
You got all these TV people back there saying, are you watching it? Stand by. That's what's up.
Anytime, y'all.
We're going to wait until everybody's prepared.
We're waiting on anyone?
All right.
Yeah, everybody good?
All right. Everybody ready?
Good evening. Unfortunately, we're here this afternoon with some unpleasant news. I'm going to keep it brief. Earlier this morning, approximately 9 a.m., the Greensboro Police Department received a call from 911 Emergency Center stating that there was a young man hanging in the backyard at the home at the address bearing 603 MLK. At that time, the department secured the scene, notified the GBI. Any other questions concerning what the GBI found, what they didn't find, I'm going to let you direct those questions to Agent Wooten.
Agent, go ahead. Step right up to the mic.
This morning, we were requested by the Greensboro Police Department to assist in a death investigation concerning the death of Roosevelt Champion III. He was 43 years of age. We dispatched several agents from the office as well as a crime scene specialist and have been processing the scene and interviewing people all afternoon. At the time, the body this time is at the GBI Medical Examiner's Office in Atlanta for a full and complete autopsy. And the scene has been processed, and we still got to have it secured. In the immediate part of the scene, there's nothing to suggest any foul play at this time. However, we're going to preserve the scene until such time the autopsy is completed and could shed more information for us. That we're not certainly closing the door, that it's no foul play, but we had to work with the scene at that time and let the scene and the evidence take us where it needs to go, where we need to go.
You saying this is a suicide?
I'm not saying that at this time.
What are you
Agent
saying?
Wooten, can you tell us how far up was the body when it was found?
Roughly, Mr. Champion's feet were touching the ground. His knees were slightly buckled.
And was there any other indications of any other wounds or anything like that?
Well, that's going to be up to the autopsy to determine that, but nothing overt, according to our crime scene specialist.
Based on your experience in these kinds of conditions, what does that suggest to you? I know you don't know if there's foul play, you're not ruling it out, but given the condition and the circumstances, what does it look like to you based on your experience?
I'm not going to comment on that part because we're still in the beginning stages of this investigation, even though we've interviewed several people. But the autopsy is one of the most important aspects of any investigation. And with all investigations, we're going to be death investigations, we're going to be extremely thorough, look at all evidence, process all evidence that need to be processed thoroughly, and keep an open mind. And then follow the leads, follow the evidence.
He was questioned in connection with a murder investigation just this past week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. He was interviewed a couple times last week regarding the death of Carol Lewis.
He was not charged.
No, sir.
Were any threats made toward him by anybody connected to?
None that we're aware of, sir.
What might that suggest to you? Whatever connection he did or didn't have to a murder and now this.
I'm not sure I understand your question, sir.
What possible connection could there be between his being questioned in an earlier case and this?
In a sense, it could be why somebody would do certain things and things of that nature. But I really, until we get deeper into the investigation with regard to that, I don't really feel comfortable commenting, because as evidence comes in and you follow the leads, and you garner and gather additional information.
Is it accurate to say you are going above and beyond to be more transparent than you usually would be?
No question about that, Mr. Weenie. As with all death investigations, we take this one extremely seriously. We've got several agents working on this, and that's where we're at this time.
Why are you going above and beyond to be so transparent?
Well, because of the fact that he was questioned a couple of times last week in connection with this death investigation, the death investigation of Carol Lewis.
Can you say anything about the context of this? You've got a man, an African-American man, found hanged in a tree in South Georgia. Some people read context into that. Help us kind of just clear the air.
I understand that there's a lot of concern about what you just discussed. Because of that, we're going to be as transparent as we can throughout this course of this investigation. Certainly, there's some things we can't divulge, but we've told you a lot here already, to be quite frank with you, and that's our goal. I've discussed this with our command staff, and we're going to be transparent. Chief Mapp and I have discussed this. There's no other way to be than the way we're going to be, and we're going to be working with the community. But we really are looking to find out where those originated from, and we'll continue to do interviews throughout the course of the evening to find out that answer out.
Saying he was hanged with the orange branches around?
Yes, that was the device utilized.
Plastic or fiberglass, or what's the?
It's looks like nylon. Yes, sir.
Canvas moving straps that you use to load down boxes?
Pretty much, to strap down boxes and things of that nature. And I would tell you they appear to be relatively new.
Can you tell us, just in one fell swoop, what the instrument of death was and why you want to?
I'm not going to say what the instrument of death was, because the autopsy has not been completed. That is for the medical examiner to make a ruling. But that is something that we're certainly interested in, because it's a fact that because it was used, and we want to know.
Orange ratchet strap around his neck when the
Yes,
body
sir.
was discovered. And
Yes,
you
sir.
wanted to know where it came from. It was fairly new.
It appeared to us to be fairly new, Mr. Weenie. Yes, sir.
When was this individual last seen?
The best we can tell definitively would have been last night around 11:30 p.m.
Where and how?
I think it's at a family member's residence, and I don't want to go into much more detail than that.
And can you say how long he had been hanged at the tree and deceased?
I'm not going to speculate on that at this time.
Can you talk a little bit more about the circumstances that the body was found? Somebody walking?
It's my understanding there was a passerby on foot that found the body of Mr. Champion, and at that time, I don't know exactly where he ran to, but he ran and called from 911 from a phone.
Are you classifying this as a homicide investigation? What are you calling this?
This is a death investigation. This is a death investigation, and we have worked any and all death investigations regarding, because we don't know yet conclusively.
So you're not ruling out the possibility that there could be an individual responsible?
The autopsy tomorrow will be very telling.
Agent Wooten, you already said this, but just if you could run through one more time, how was the body found, and what was the circumstances under which you saw the body? Where was it? How high was it? That kind of thing.
The body's, Mr. Champion's feet were on the ground and slightly buckled at the knees. Other than that, that's all I can comment on.
And no indication of any other wounds on the body, anything like that you can tell firsthand.
From our crime scene specialist perspective, and that is not the overriding authority on that, because the autopsy is the final there's nothing that showed any type of immediate struggle or anything of that nature.
So you're not ruling out any possible cause of death, whether foul play was involved or something else?
We'll know a lot more tomorrow when the autopsy is completed, and I suspect that will be done first thing in the morning. We take, like I said, we're expediting this case, and that means putting it forward as quick as we can. I've been on the phone with headquarters, and we're looking at this thing, and we're going to continue to investigate in a thorough manner, sir.
Why are you
said that-
expediting it?
To give the public answers. The
said-
public deserves answers on this, to be honest with you. Because we're very aware that this case has drawn a lot of attention, and out of fairness to everybody, and that's the transparency that we want to put out there to them, to the public, the family of everybody. This is a small community, and this is a very, very big issue in a small community such as this.
You said there was no signs of foul play, if I heard you right. Were the hands bound? Were the feet bound? Was there anything otherwise that would suggest anything? Was he freely hanging?
He was hanging, yes.
Were his hands bound?
No,
Nor his feet?
no.
We had a technical problem, so I apologize, but the orange ratchet strap
Mhm.
appeared fairly new. It was around his neck, and you want to know where that came from.
We'd like the public's help on it, to know if where it came from, and we're willing to put that out there, and we certainly would take into consideration any information the public has on that issue, as well as any other information that the public has. Call the Greensboro Police Department, and the information be relayed to us.
Would you like to give out a phone number?
Chief?
Greensboro Police Department number 706-453-7555. And if you can't reach anyone at that number, 911.
I've got just one other thing.
Can I say this after this question?
Please.
We're concluding.
You said the hands were not bound. There was the ratchet strap was found. There's no case of foul play. This guy was involved in a homicide investigation, and he'd been questioned. Did he ever indicate any signs to you, your department, the GBI, anybody, of being despondent or otherwise because of the investigation?
At this time, there's no information known to us that there's any signs of depression or just being despondent. We have no information on that at this time, sir.
And yet you say no sign of foul play.
Well, I want to thank y'all so much. Appreciate you being here. We gave y'all a lot of information, and the police department and ourselves, the GBI, continue to work this, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
WOOT.